Good evening, everybody. High above the rafters here in Building 190 at Vancouver Island University in beautiful Nanaimo, British Columbia. Good evening, everybody. Caleb Green on the call for tonight's action. A crowd of 30 strong here in the Harbor City. Took a bit of technical difficulties during the opening ceremonies, but we're set to go as the Mariners look to continue their winning ways. Harriet McKenzie at center court, set to win the opening tip for the Mariners, and that she does. Hall immediately gets it. We are underway. Kicks it back out to Cox from beyond the arc. Mackenzie Cox spinning back inside, finds McKenzie, spinning on the inside, and wasting no time. Harriet McKenzie gets the party started. Here comes Regan Bond, set to quarterback this Langara offense. On the outside, it's LaFleur trying to drive inside, gets pushed away. And the Mariners take it back. Maggie Salas, the product of Las Cruces, New Mexico. That's from beyond the line. Over now, here's Kimball. Trying to weave her way inside. Convenient banking hours in the Harbor City. And the Mariners already up 4. Here comes Bond. Takes the handoff. Standing on the near side, trying to get something going. Kicks it out to Sunner for a 3 that bounces off the rim. Rebound by Pagely, and the Mariners diving for it, but they will not retain it. Bond set to inbound, tries to get it over to Sunner, couldn't quite pull it in, and this time the Mariners are going to get it back. Or will they? Sunner gets it over to Bond. Stepping back, well beyond the line. Now spins back inside. Kicks it out over to Murray, who hits the first shot for Langara as they cut the deficit in half. Salas puts on the brakes, kicks it out to Hall. Pumps. Sends Kimball in motion. Cuts to the near side. Salas lets it fly. Almost goes in. Rebound by Sunner. Bounce pass over to Bond. Regan Bond spinning on the inside. Kicks it out to Pagely on the drive. Tries to get it over. Hall takes it away. Gets it over to Salas. Two of them hand in hand as they make their way across center court. Tries to get on the lob to McKenzie, who can't quite get there. Falling for it beneath the basket. A sea of white and black jerseys. Salas holding the fuse. Gets it on the inside to Hall. Swings it back out. Cox lets it fly. Knocks it through! Mackenzie Cox! Lethal from beyond the arc. And the Mariners are up by 5. Trying to nip it in the bud. Here's Pagely. Cuts on the near side. Swings it out. Over to Sunner, who lets it fly. Bounces off the rim. Fought for by Hall. On the drive, here's Cox, who loses it. And the Mariners will retain. Salas looks. Gets it to Cox on the near side. Kicks out to Kimball. Back now to Salas. Tries to get it on the inside. Play gets called. Here we go again. Salas gets it back. Straddles the line. Shot clock winding down. Here comes Cox on the drive, who can't quite get it. Fought for by Langara. LaFleur coming away with it. Salas tried to get it. LaFleur takes it back. Here comes Langara. Coming in on the drive, moons over the rim. Fought for by Salas. Setting the offense in motion. Lets it fly immediately. Maggie Salas didn't even need to pass to anyone. And the Mariners on fire to start the game. Bond. Over now to Murray. LaFleur waits. Shot clock at single digits. Kicks it back out, letting it fly there. Bounces off the rim. Here comes Harriet McKenzie. Puts on the brakes. Steps back across the line. Here's Salas. Lets it fly again. Bounces off the front of the rim. And Bond there to collect the loose change. Bond trying to get it through. She finds Sunner, who drives inside. Couldn't quite get past McKenzie as Hall gets it over to Salas. Mariners setting up once again. Fakes the pass over to Hall. Pumps. Gets it on the inside to McKenzie, who tries to bank it in. Rim had a lid on it, apparently. Here comes Regan Bond. Stepping inside. Getting it on the drive. Foul called against VIU. That will send Caitlin LaFleur, the Vancouver native, to the line. Successfully converts on both free throws. Simpson gets it on the inside to Cox. Making their way back to Simpson. Lets it fly immediately off the tongue of the rim. Fought for by Salazar. Here comes Queenie Salazar. Gets it back to LaFleur. Swings it on the outside. Bentley almost had it. Goes out of bounds. Salazar looking, gets it on the inside to Sunner. Walking the lines. On the inside drive, here's Nicholson, who tries to bank it in. Simpson gets it over to Cox. Now Bentley, pull-ups, three, knocks it down! Allison Bentley! A weapon from the curved stripe. And the Mariners on the verge of having their first double-digit lead of the day. Rokosh having none of it. Shot goes behind the backboard, but she's going to get two, albeit in a less flashy way. Here comes Cox. Seems that we have no sound at the moment. We apologize. Kimball on the outside. Gets it back over to Bentley. Swings it on the outside to Cox. On the inside, here's Nkrumah from mid-range. Bounces off. Sunner. Inbound pass to Salazar. Here they come. Back to Sunner. Sunner Gets it over to Rokosh. Kimball fighting for it. Gets it on the outside to Nicholson. Swings it violently out to Salazar, who almost hits a three. Simpson fights for it and gets it over to Cox. Coming near side. Cox swings it on the inside to Nkrumah, and one! Colleen Nkrumah! Can I get a two-piece and a biscuit? Colleen Nkrumah, standing at 5'10", native of Calgary, Alberta, product of Sir Winston Churchill Secondary. Here comes Salazar. On the outside, LaFleur pumps. Nicholson swings it to the invisible man, and the Mariners take it back. Cox walking the dog, comes in on the drive, gets it over to Bentley, hesitates. Straddling the stripe, curls up, tries to get on the inside to Simpson. Immediately Cox on the drive, trying to finish what she started. Ahead to Rokosh. Amy Rokosh tries to drive it inside. Moonshot goes nowhere. Cox, stretch pass ahead to Trista Thorne. First time seeing her in quite a while. Queenie Salazar ahead again to Rokosh. Amy Rokosh tries to get it through. Fought for by Thorne. Gets it over to Cox. This Mariners team has been relentless on both sides of the court all night, especially on defense. Bentley, bounce pass inside to Nkrumah. On the outside, Simpson trying to salvage it. Kicks it back out, Thorne for three. Rolls off the rim, fought for by Salazar. Gets it ahead to Sunner. Poked away by Thorne, barely keeps it in bounds. Driving on the far side. Here's Sunner, steps back. Shot clock at single digits. Swings it out to Rokosh for three. Goes nowhere. Nicholson couldn't quite fight for it. And the Mariners are going to get it back. It appears we do. Still no confirmation on whether or not the stream has sound. We do apologize. And on the drive, it's Labrador who comes up just short. Stretch pass ahead to Nicholson. Bullies through two players. Couldn't quite get it. .2:11 to go in the first quarter. Mariners having a comfortable 9-point lead. Sizable for most teams, but a very close game by their extremely high standards. On the inside, here's McKenzie. Trying to spin pass. Here's Simpson, who goes underneath, comes up empty-handed. Here's Salazar. Walks on the outside. Over to Sunner. Sunner for three. Rolls off the rim. Rebound Simpson. Stretch pass out. Here's Bentley. Swings it on the inside to McKenzie. Spinning beneath the basket. Tries to get it. Gets her own rebound on the second chance. And she gets it through. Harriet McKenzie. Salazar looking to undo it. On the near side, swings it out over to Sarah Chang. Loses it. Salazar there to pick it back up. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Nicholson pumps, tries to get on the outside. Good if it goes, but it doesn't. Bentley takes it back. Under a minute to go in the first. Here's Trista Thorne on the drive. Steps back, kicks it out. Labrador 3. Tries to get it. McKenzie there to fight for it. Kicks it back out. Bentley trying to create space. Doesn't quite hit a shot. Simpson, third chance now for the Mariners. And the third time's the charm with a chance for a third point. Gaia Simpson, one of 3 American players on this Mariners roster, hailing from the green pastures of Wilmington, North Carolina. As we get our first fresh set of bodies. Here's Chiasson. The relentless defense there from Thorne. And that's another whistle. Okay, sound is good. Thank you, Andrew, for pointing it out. Almost at the 30-second mark. On the inside is Nicholson, who drives, can't get it, tries to swat at her own rebound. Here's Harriet McKenzie. Mariners trying to break out of the zone here. Labrador swings it over to Bentley. On the outside, it's Thorne. Back to Labrador. 3-second disparity. Hall on the outside. Here's Bentley. Trying to make something happen here. Here's McKenzie from mid-range. Oh, yeah! Harriet McKenzie! As time expires, Langara's not going to get a shot off in time. And it's a 22-6 lead for the girls in white going into the second frame. It's a very stressful time for many students here at VIU, myself included. It's the last week of the semester before the final exam period, which I must admit I'm completely unprepared for. For some reason, the English department thinks it's fair to have us write a 900-word essay on something we've never read before, by hand, in the year 2024. Like, I get why they're doing it. They want to know that it's actually us writing and not ChatGPT. But realistically, ChatGPT sucks when you're just relying on it. If you're using it to rewrite your essay, good for you. If you're just using it to write it for you, there's something wrong with you as a student and as a person. I guarantee you before that day is done, my right and left hands are going to be completely numb. At this rate, I'm going to have to hand in my essay, and my teacher's going to have to ask why there are tear stains on it. When the answer is obvious to anyone that has at least one functioning eye. Pagely to get things going in the second quarter. Bond on the outside, now inside. Walking the line. Trying to push through. On the off foot, goes nowhere. Mariners fighting for it. Labrador gets it loose. Here's Kimball, puts on the brakes. Over now to Salas, pumps. Now Hall for 3. Almost goes through. McKenzie trying to salvage 2 out of 3. And Salas will inbound. Here's Kimball, product of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Goes off the tongue of the rim. McKenzie directly beneath the basket. Kicks back out. Salas. Now Kimball three. This one doesn't go through either. McKenzie there to fight for it. This time she gets two with room for one more. It's looking to be that kind of night for the Mariners. 9:16 to go in the first half, leading 24-6, already forcing Langara to burn one of their timeouts. McKenzie looking to get her long-awaited extra point. And the conversion is no good. Kimball back to McKenzie. Here she comes with the underhand. Saw a bit of the Larry Johnson in there. Here's Chiasson coming near side. And off back to Pagely. Swings it over. Here's Crane. Bond on the outside. Trying to spin through. Hits the side of the backboard. Kicks back out. Letting it fly is Murray, who goes nowhere. Fought for by Crane. Still keeping it inside. Here's Chiasson off the backboard again. Now here's Salas. McKenzie, she's been on fire tonight. Gets it out. Kimball fakes the drive. Back to McKenzie with the one-handed. Bond gets her own inbound pass from Chiasson. Regan Bond almost directly at center court. Now walks to the far side. Cuts inside the line. Here's Crane. One-handed pass on the outside. Here's Murray. And McKenzie takes it back. Here's Salas. Back to McKenzie. Along the line. Hand off back to Kimball. Michaela Kimball, step back. Rolls off the rim and out. Here comes Bond on the drive. Trying to swing it inside. Kicks back out for three. Knocks it through. Regan Bond. Salas looking to undo it. Hall pumps. Swings it on the outside to Kimball. Back to Hall. Cuts inside. Settle in for two. Can't even get that. McKenzie there to fight for it. Kicks it out. Rachel Labrador, lots of room. Over now McKenzie on the inside to Hall. Rolls off her fingers. Murray and Bond looking to make her pay. Chiasson. Violent swing over to Murray, who almost hits a three. McKenzie there to collect the loose change. Here she comes. Rolls inside and scores. A spectacular solo effort by Harriet McKenzie as the Mariners crack 30. Chiasson on the inside. Here's Bond trying to get it underneath. Labrador gets it over to Salas. Stepping back, Kimball. Now McKenzie. Hand off back to Salas. Top of the arc, curls out to the far side. Swings it back over to Hall from mid-range. Knocks it through, Mackenzie Hall. Mariners on fire so far. Regan Bond. Trying to spin through, gets pushed to the floor. Falls through, gets it over to Crane. Walking on the far side. Gets it back to Bond. Hall there to collect it, and a whistle's blown. Nicholson over to Chiasson. Back on the outside, here's LaFleur, bounces off the rim. Simpson gets it over to Salas. Back over to Simpson, immediately lets it fly, goes nowhere. Fought for again by Regan Bond. Putting on the brakes, taking things slow. Gets it over to Pagely. On the outside, here's Nicholson. On the inside, Bond, who gets 2 easy points. Past the halfway mark here in the second quarter. Salas looking to continue this Mariners run. Here's Mackenzie Cox, who drives for 2. Chiasson on the outside. Almost lose it. Picks it back up at the top of the arc. Going for the throw. Nicholson, handoff back to Chiasson. Cuts to the top of the arc, spins back inside. Here's Nicholson, who gets chopped down and gets 2 with room for 1 more. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Your words mean a lot to me. Hopefully my rant on handwritten essays wasn't too distracting. And here comes Salas back across center court. Salas gets it on the outside to Jordan Ryu, the former Belmont Bulldog. Kicks back to Salas. Pumps on the inside. Here's Nkrumah. Back out to Salas for 3. Oh yeah! Maggie Salas hits it from Albuquerque. Nicholson gets it over to Chiasson. Swings it on the outside, letting it fly there is Joe Hall, who comes up short. Here's Cox, lots of room to move here. Tries to get it off the board, and Nicholson fighting for it. Here comes Murray, stretch pass ahead, putting on the brakes. Gets it back over to Nicholson. Handoff now Joe Hall, trying to set this Falcons offense in motion. Currently ranked 6th in points per game in the PACWEST. Mariners ranking 1st in the opposing category. They've been one of the better defensive teams in the PACWEST, and they've certainly showed it tonight. Holding the Langara Falcons to only 13 points through basically 2 quarters. Chiasson at the shot clock buzzer. No good. And the second chance there goes through. Matty Murray. Cox trying to push through. Here she comes. Bullies past 3 people and gets called. Lots of professional experience from Mackenzie Cox. She previously spent time on BC's U17 team. Now that she's old enough to vote, she took her talents to Nanaimo. Here's Chiasson on the far side. Kicks it back out, Joe Hall on the inside. Nicholson loses it. Here comes Simpson. Cox, stretch pass out to Ryu. Pumps, walks the tightrope, kicks it back out. Bentley on the drive, the floater, off the glass and in. Chiasson trying to make something happen for Langara. Joe Hall on the outside. Back to Chiasson. Here's Nicholson. Pushes inside, can't quite get through. Cox, here's Simpson! Joe Hall, stretch pass ahead to Chiasson. Back on the inside to Nicholson. Goes wide over her head. Cox out again, stretch pass inside to Simpson! Again! Like Bandit and Snowman out there. Joe Hall on the outside. Walks the tightrope. Pushed back into no man's land. 1 second on the shot clock. Nicholson didn't have the time to put something up. Shot clock violation and the Mariners take it back. Cox. Simpson. Back to Cox. Cuts to the near side. Steps back. Here's Simpson. Pumps. Drives back inside. Kicks it out to Cox. Trying to spin through. Gets called for a travel and Langara takes it back. Chiasson. The outside Crane. Now here's Rokosh. Less than a minute to go in the first half. On the outside, here's LaFleur. Taken away by Allison Bentley. Swings it over to Ryu, lets it fly! Almost goes through. Nkrumah tried to fight for it. Chiasson takes it away. Under 30 seconds now. Here's Sydney Chiasson. Handoff back to Salazar. At the far side. Gets it up to Rokosh, top of the arc. Swings it back over LaFleur. Tries to get it on the inside. Failed lob attempt to Chiasson. And with 12.5 seconds to go, the Mariners have one last chance to do something before halftime. Gaia Simpson gets it over to Mackenzie Cox. 8 seconds to go. Cox trying to do it herself. Simpson on the outside, lets it fly, comes up just short. The Mariners will go into halftime leading 44-15.
Are we coming through? We should be coming through right now. If not, that's bad. Are we coming through? Okay, we are. Sometimes I wonder, who would win in a fight? Like an actual fight, a Falcon or a Mariner? Like, I imagine the Mariner would have a pretty good chance, but at the same time, it's never explicitly specified that the Mariner is a human. Like, it could just be a fish or anything else that lives in the sea. And Falcons, they're predatory birds. They eat fish. So realistically speaking, I'd say it's pretty even. At the very least, like, it's one-sided if it's one thing, one-sided if it's the other, so, like, it balances out to being even. Good to see all of you in the live stream. I imagine there must be more of you watching this game on your phones or computers or TVs or whatever than there are actual people in attendance right now. Welcome back to the game. Third quarter is underway. Salas immediately kicks it on the outside to Cox. Swings back. Here's Kimball. Now back to Salas. On the inside, it's McKenzie, who gets it on the inside to Hall. Taken away by Langara. Here they come on the counterattack. Regan Bond. Mariners going from right to left now as the three attempt there from LaFleur rims out. Here comes Mackenzie Hall, kicks it on the outside to Cox. Back to Hall from mid-range, knocks it through. Mackenzie Hall, the mid-range assassin, scores the first points of the second half. Pagely. Now Nicholson swings it on the outside to Murray, who hits it. Stretch pass ahead to McKenzie. Trying to work her way through a sea of defenders. But Harriet McKenzie, untouched, undaunted, unrelenting. And the Mariners continue their run. Bond. Here's Nicholson. Pagely on the outside, knocks it down. Avani Pagely hits it from East Hastings. And the Falcons starting to create some momentum here. McKenzie from mid-range, off the checkbox and in. Harriet McKenzie checking all the boxes tonight. And the Mariners once again lead by 30. Pagely on the outside, LaFleur. Cuts inside, puts on the brakes. Goes out on the drive, it's Bond who rolls it in. Salas. Here's Hall on the outside. Gets it over to Cox. Works her way to the top of the arc. Steps back to the near side. Gets it out to Hall. Now here's Kimball on the inside to McKenzie. Back to Hall. Almost goes through. Diving for it is Regan Bond. Bond. LaFleur setting Nicholson in motion. Gets it to her at the top of the arc. On the outside, Bond walks the tightrope. Back to Nicholson. Fakes the shot, takes the shot. Gets her own rebound, tries to push it through. Gets called on her way. That's a foul against VIU. Nothing but nylon. Falcons looking to do what Douglas did not too long ago. Granted, there is a difference between a 10-point deficit and a 30-point deficit. But in the game of basketball, that's only determined by a few minutes. Kimball for three. Doesn't go anywhere. At the feet of Hall. Salas diving for it. Comes out of the pack. Immediately on the drive, Cox for three. Oh yeah, Mackenzie Cox. Here's Bond, walking across center court. Pagely on the outside. Fakes the drive. Pagely kicks it on the outside. Here's LaFleur, fakes the shot, walks the tightrope underneath the basket, goes nowhere. Rebound Kimball. Gets it to Cox, directly in front of the scores table. On the outside, here's Hall. Salas at the near corner, kicks it back out to McKenzie. Harriet McKenzie twirling inside, gets her own rebound, pushes it through on the second effort. And Bond pushes Kimball to the ground on the basket. Falcons back within 29. Salas on the outside. Walking the arc. Kimball near corner three. Bounce off the rim, fought for by Nicholson, who gets it over to Avani Pagely. Pagely pulls up, bounces off the tongue of the rim, rolls out of bounds, and the Mariners take it back. Simpson gets it on the inside to Thorne. Walks in front of the scores table. Now makes her way across center court. Thorne on the outside to Nkrumah. Back to Thorne. Cuts to the far corner. From mid-range. Off the rim. Fought for. Taken away by Langara. Here comes Bond.
Bond, one man to beat, drives the Euro step on the inside and goes through after a trifecta of bounces. Langara inching ever closer to a comeback. (55-29) your score now, 4:33 to go in this third quarter. Salas, take it away, Labrador keeps it in bounds. Thorne on the outside, gets it over to Salas. Standing at the near corner, poked away by Bond. Simpson tried to get it, and it goes out of bounds. Chang inbounds it to Bond. Blows past Thorne, puts on the brakes. Gets it to Chang on the outside, now back to Bond. Thorne switching on to her, now Nkrumah. Bond on the outside. Walking the tightrope, LaFleur. Simpson tips it. Saw a bit of Richard Sherman to Malcolm Smith in there. On the outside, here's Salas. Setting this offense in motion. Gonna do it herself. Comes up empty-handed. Here comes Bond on the drive. Straight line across center. Does not result in 2 points. Simpson keeps it in bounds, but Langara takes it back. Here's LaFleur on the outside. Gets it over. Crane off the backboard. Simpson gets it over to Thorne. Now Salas trying a formation, going across the tracks for VIU. Salas, hand off to Thorne on the far side. Kicks it back over to Salas. Nkrumah inside the paint. Kicks it back out. Thorne for three. Knocks it down! Trista Thorne, a flamethrower from the near corner. And the Mariners continuing this momentum with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. LaFleur tries to get on the inside to Pagely. 3 defenders. Thorne takes it away. Here comes Thorne. Swings it on the outside. And a whistle blows. And there's an injured Falcon at the right end of the court. That does not look good. Normally these players get up pretty fast, but this is not a good situation. There you see the Falcons head coach, Cameron McGillivray. He was a former assistant at Capilano University. They'll visit VIU in February for their final home game of the season. Coincidentally, that is the same night that the Mariners will celebrate their seniors, which unfortunately does not include me. I'm not even old enough to vote. And Avani Pagely looks like she's going to be okay, but I would not be surprised if she misses some time. Able to walk under her own power, but only just. Looking to restart things. Here's Labrador. Cuts inside. The solo effort. The Red Sea parts for Rachel Labrador, the former Langara Falcon. And the Mariners crack 60. Giason on the outside. Almost tipped out of bounds by VIU. Shot clock at single digits. Falcons have to put something up. Banks in, wasn't in time.
The refs say no. Falcons have yet to crack 30 on the day. Mariners already at the 60-point plateau. And take it away. Here's Rokosh, who can't get the easy drive to go. Here comes Bentley, looking to make her pay. Swings it out to Simpson, but she wasn't there in time, and the Falcons take it back. On the outside, here's Rokosh. Cuts inside the line. Rokosh steps back, weaves past defenders, gets called for a travel. Amy Rokosh using some of those frequent flyer miles. Rachel Labrador looking for revenge against her old team. Nkrumah kicks it on the outside. Here's Ryu. Swings it back out to Bentley, who lets it fly. Bounce off the rim. Simpson! Hum diddly dee! Kaya Simpson! Here's Chiasson on the outside. The tenacious defense of VIU. .106 to go in the third quarter. Mariners leading 62-29. Here's Crane. On the outside now, here's Chang on the drive, who loses it, and the Mariners take it back. Here's Labrador. Shakes past Rokosh. Bentley in the near corner. Pumps, gets it over to Labrador. Swings it on the outside to Ryu. Jordan Ryu. Here's Nkrumah. Back outside Ryu. Now Labrador. Shot clock at 5. Simpson on the inside. And knocks it through. Kaya Simpson. 30 seconds to go now. Rokosh. Trying to get something going for Langara. Crane, handoff back to Rokosh. At the far corner, letting it fly there is Nisa Sunner. As it rims out, shot clock is dark. The crowd of 40 on their feet. Rachel Labrador, chance at history, and a whistle blows. 4.3 to go. Ryu will inbound. It's off to Bentley from the far corner. Bounces off the rim. And the Falcons once again can't get anything going in time. 64-29 going into the last 10. Fourth quarter underway. The entire game has seemingly led up to this. Here's Chiasson. Bounce pass to Rokash. On the inside, here's Crane. Crane trying to break past Nkrumah. Kicks it back to Chiasson. Cuts inside. Back out to Crane. Over now for three. Off the front of the rim. Nisa Sunner with the attempt. And the steal there by Rokash. Tries to get on the inside to Maddie Murray, who gets it to go. Simpson, top of the arc. Traffic in front. And she couldn't quite get a pass through. Chiasson, racing far side across center. Crane. Crab walks out. Sent in motion by Chiasson. Walking the line. Back out to Crane. Swings it back out. Rokash. 3 seconds on the shot clock. On the drive. Here's Murray again. Off the board into the hands of Simpson, who gently lays it over to Mackenzie Cox. Spins past Rokash. Top of the arc. Cuts her way inside. Here's Simpson. Trying to weave through. Kicks it back out. Bentley. Back out to Simpson from mid-range. Oh yeah, Kaya Simpson! Here's Chiasson. Poked away, Simpson tries to keep it in bounds, just had a foot out. Falcons got another chance. On the outside, Salazar lets it fly. No good. Rebound by Cox. Stretch pass ahead to Bentley, who swings it over to Simpson. Cuts to the near side. Back to Simpson. Now here's Cox. Tries to get from mid-range. Kicks out. Far corner three from Bentley. Bounces off the rim and the backboard. Stretch pass ahead intended for Rokash, who tries to get it pushed out of bounds, and Langara will retain it. Salazar will inbound. Sunner retrieving it in no man's land. Trying to cut through. VIU is relentless on defense. Rokash from the far corner. Off both sides of the rim and the backboard. Here comes Cox and Simpson. Ahead now for Bentley. On the drive, Bentley goes under and in. Allison Bentley. Here's Rokash with the one-handed layup that goes nowhere. Now here comes Mackenzie Cox. Bentley trying to walk through. Fix it, VIU. Back now to Cox. Inside here, Simpson. Kicks out Bentley for three. Comes up just short. Rolls out of bounds. And the Falcons take it again. .6:43 to go in the game. Mariners leading 68-31. On the outside, Salazar comes up short. Second chance by Nicholson. Also no good. Here comes Cox. Mariners have relied heavily on that stretch pass to get things going early. Now Trista Thorne. Swings it on the outside. Simpson from the corner. Knocks it down. Kaya Simpson with her feet between the lines, and the Mariners crack 70. Salazar over to Rokosh for three. Off the front of the rim. Here comes Simpson. Drops it back for VIU. Cuts inside directly into the hands of Rokosh. Getting it back to Queenie Salazar. That's an awesome name, by the way. Rokosh gets chopped down on her way. That's going to be two from the charity stripe. .5:32 to go, but that doesn't mean we're done with basketball for the night. We've got our men's match between VIU and Langara coming up right after this, so if you still have a fixing, then stay tuned. Simpson from beneath the basket. Hall taking her place. Gets it on the inside to Cox, who escapes the paint and makes her way across center. Mackenzie Cox on the outside. Over now Thorne. Loses it, rolls out of bounds, and the Mariners will retain it. You see the pass back in bounds from that Island Swish student right there. His form needed work, but I respect his hustle. Can certainly see him filling a Derek White role in the future as Labrador lets it fly and it comes up short. Rebound Nicholson. Dropping it back to Joe Hall. This bench is going crazy. Murray on the outside, gets it over to LaFleur. Back to Murray, top of the arc, knocks it down. Maddie Murray. Back to within 35 for Langara. Hall. Now here's Labrador. On the inside it's Nkrumah. Colleen Nkrumah with the one-handed layup comes up short. Rebound Nicholson. Salazar. Stretch pass ahead over to LaFleur. Putting on the brakes. Back Nicholson. Gets her pocket picked, and Langara will retain it. Salazar will inbound. Gets it on the top of the arc to LaFleur. On the inside, here's Nicholson. Tries to get it in. Gets their own rebound. Trying to push it through. And a whistle blows. Isabel Nicholson, she's been a very strong presence along the boards for this Falcons team. Only player on their roster to be above 6 feet. Only other players that come close are Vera Djordjevic and Maddie Murray, only one of which is playing tonight. Here's Trista Thorne at the top of the arc. Hall cuts inside the paint, weaves her way through, up and over the rim. Here's Salazar, trying to work her way inside, splits the defense and comes away with 2 points. Queenie Salazar, what an effort. VIU kicks it out, Thorne, back inside for Hall. Swings it back out for three. Bounce off the rim. McKenzie there to collect the loose change from Labrador as it rolls out of bounds. Thorne immediately lets it fly and knocks it down. Trista Thorne, the former alum of Foothills Composite. 73-38 with just over 3 minutes to go. Only a call from the governor can save the Falcons now. Murray has it tipped. Richard Sherman again, and Labrador comes away with it. Thorne cuts at the far corner. On the drive, here's Cox. Tries to get it with one hand, fighting for it, rips it out of Salazar's hands. Falcons calling their second or first timeout. .239 to go in the game. Mariners have been an impressive force at home. Out of a possible 6 games, they've won 5 of them. It's off to Simpson. Labrador. Back to Simpson from mid-range. Rolls off every angle of the box. Simpson a second chance, and this time she gets it through. Kaya Simpson. Here comes Salazar. Over to LaFleur. Trapped in the near corner. Murray. Back over to LaFleur. Kicks it back out. Murray. Now LaFleur. Weaves inside the paint. Under 2 minutes to go now. And the Mariners regain it. Salazar off to Chiasson, who comes up just short. 1 second left on the shot clock as it resets. Chiasson bricks the first one. Unfortunately, VIU does not have a collaboration with KFC or any other food chain, which is a shame because I'm sure the fans in here are hungry. I'm sure they could appreciate brickin' for chicken. Labrador kicks it out to Salas at the far corner. Now here's Ryu. Shot clock at single digits. Thorne flying for it, and it bounces through. That may be the dagger. 77-39. Here's Nicholson going off the glass. Pushed out of bounds, and Langara retains it. There's 1, 2, 3 to go in the fourth. Nicholson at the near corner. Here's Bond. Kicks it back out. Throws to the invisible man again. And the Mariners take it back. 1:17 to go. The fat lady may not be singing yet, but believe me, she's warming up her vocal cords. 1:10 to go now. Here's Salas. Back over to Simpson. Cuts to the near side. Thorne beneath the basket. Goes up and over. Comes up empty-handed. Falcons looking for a late rally. Under a minute to go. Bond on the drive. Gets chopped down on her way. No foul. And the Mariners take it back. Just rubbing salt in an open and bleeding Langara wound. VIU gets it over to Labrador. Simpson from mid-range again. The mid-range assassin delivers. Kaya Simpson hits it from Charlotte. Mariners up by 40 with under 30 seconds to go. Here's Joe Hall on the outside. Over to Bond. Single digits on the shot clock. Thorne rips it away, and that'll do it. The VIU Mariners get to double-digit wins on the year. 79-39, your final from Nanaimo. It's a white and blue W. They saw what happened against Douglas. They vowed to not let it happen again, and they did just that. A convincing 40-point victory for VIU over Langara. Revenge for Rachel Labrador against her old team. Coming up in 20 minutes' time, we're going to have the men's match between VIU and Langara. So until next time, on behalf of Matt Carter, Sophia Schelling, and our entire production team here at Vancouver Island University, I'm Caleb Green saying good night and thanks for listening.